Hey all, Test cricket is boring, is it not? Particularly with the advent of T20 cricket, and of course, One Day International was always there for 50-over matches. Test cricket is boring because the batting is so slow. And again, at the end of the fifth day, some test matches produce zero results. It's drawn. So who cares for Test cricket if there is so much fun in One Day Internationals and T20 cricket? But those who love Test cricket still, I think if we can make it more entertaining and interesting if we make certain changes with the Test cricket. And that's why I'm making this video so that it somehow gets to the attention of the ICC people. What I'm suggesting is, let's put a target rather, that per 80 overs, whoever batting, there should be a minimum score made of 250 runs. If score is less than 250, then there should be automatic wicket loss for every 40-run deficit. These wickets will not be the batsman increase, but from the bottom end. So for example, in a first 80 overs of the innings, if a team scored between 210 and 249 runs, there should be automatic wicket loss of 1. Of course, it will be batsman number 11. If the score between 170 and 209, there will be 2 automatic wicket loss. So these automatic wickets will be in addition to their practical wicket loss in field. The similar way it will go if they score only between 50 and 89 runs in given 80 overs, they will automatically lose 5 wickets in addition to their actual wickets. So they scored 50 runs with the loss of, say, 2 wickets in given 80 overs because they're trying to draw up a match. And so batting so slow. But at the end of the 80 over, they will have automatic 5 wicket loss. So batsman number 11, 10, 9, 8, and 7 will be gone, in addition to whatever actually they lost in the field. That will make the batting side score the runs faster. And that will make the Test cricket more entertaining, those who are sitting in the field galleries and also watching through TV or listening through radio or following through even Cricinfo or any other internet media. The formula is very simple. The first 2 conditions. So what first condition is, the condition will impose only when the overs completed is 80. So for example, if a team batted for say 79.5 overs and they scored only 209 runs, this will still not be applicable. But as soon as the 80 over is completed and they made only say 209 runs, see the penalty will be 2 wickets. If they scored say for example 240 runs, the penalty would be 1 wicket in addition to their actual wicket loss. So they lost 5 wickets. So the total wicket loss would be considered as 6. The 2 batsmen who are in the crease will still stay on the crease. It will be the last end batsman who will be considered automatic out. This will enforce the batting side to score runs at a faster pace, and that will make the Test cricket more entertaining. That's the intent. I'm just analyzing. If you have questions, please text me and make a comment there, so I'll follow up with you. And so, for example, if I follow up a couple of Test matches, so the England-West Indies second match as it is going on, England scored, taking 80 overs, they scored only 219 runs. This is slow batting, and that should have given them an automatic penalty of 1 wicket. Okay, so they lost 2 wickets. On the crease now, Joe Root and someone else, I believe. Those 2 batsmen will still be batting, but an automatic, so batter number 11 would be automatically out. That will actually enforce the batters to score faster. So when you start scoring faster, that makes the whole cricket thing more entertaining. That's why T20 is so entertaining. So the Test cricket needs some kind of enforcement, the batting side to bat a little bit on a faster pace. And of course, West Indies haven't yet bat. The England will still be batting today. But the scoring rate sometimes dictates that it will be producing a result or it will be ending up without any result again. West Indies and England's second match, if you look at it, their England first innings scored 246 in their first 80 overs. Slow again. They should have given a penalty. Look at their West Indies, their first over 227. Slow. They should have given a penalty wicket, and that should have forced them to score faster. Look at England's second innings. In their first 80 overs, they scored only 219 runs. Why? Why do you have to so slow? 5 given day, and that produced no results. That is not fair. West Indies. Now, this is the good case here. West Indies, in their second innings, actually they batted 70.1 overs. What it means though, as long as the total over batted remained less than 80 overs, this rule will not impose. So if they lost actual 4 wickets, it's actual 4 wickets because that nothing will be added. And had they have to bat for more than 80 overs, there should have been a pressure on West Indies to score faster. If you look at the Australia-Pakistan first test match, Pakistan, 80 overs, 230 runs, short of 250. They should have given 1 penalty wicket from the bottom batter, number 11. In their second 80 overs too, they scored 234 runs. Again, they should have given another penalty. So their total loss of 4 wickets would have been actually 4 + 1 + 1, 2 wickets. But that is not the end point. The point is that would have enforced the batters to score faster. When they score faster, that makes cricket more entertaining and also result-driven. Australia, in their first innings, of course, they did have a good score. They batted for first 80 overs, 288. They shouldn't have encountered any penalty wicket. And in their second 80 overs, they didn't have to bat 80 overs on the 60.1 overs, which means they didn't have to encounter any enforcement of penalty. If you look at the Australia-Pakistan second test match, what happened? Australia, in their first 80 overs, scored 235, not as fast as a test match should have proceeded. 235 for 2. They should have got a penalty at the end of 80 overs. They actually batted another second 80 overs because Australia total batted 189 overs for a score of 556. Look at in their second 80 overs, they scored only 204 runs. Not a good score. They should have encountered another 2. So 1 + 2 + actual 7. That would have resulted their total 10 wicket loss. By the end of 168th over, their total score would have been 439 and done. And Pakistan would have come to chase for 439. I'm not taking Pakistan first innings because they were out before playing 80 overs. But for Pakistan's second over, if you look at it, their first 80 overs, they scored only 188, very slow. It makes the test cricket not at all entertaining. If you are cheering for that country only to defend and then make a draw, that's a different case. But the globalist, from holistic cricket, test cricket point of view, it's not good. It's not entertaining to the world crowd. So they would have encountered 2 additional penalty wickets. So they actually lost 2 wickets. The additional 2 penalty wickets would have resulted actually 4 wickets. But what else would have done though? Not to make these additional automatic wickets, the batters would have batted faster, way faster, to make it at least 250 as a target. Who knew? If they chased the score to make it 250 runs for 80 overs target, Pakistan would have won the match, in fact. In their second 80 overs, they made 204 runs. Again, because of this rule, they would be losing another 2 penalty wickets. So they actually, at the end of 80 overs, they lost total 6 wickets. 160 overs, they lost 6 wickets. But with the penalty, they would have lost their 10 wickets by the end of 168 over. So this match won't have resulted in a draw had this rule been enforced. So I'd request and suggest that this video somehow goes to the ICC people and they they sincerely consider that there is no restriction at this time for test matches, and they still hope that the old folks like us who still love test cricket will continue loving the test cricket. But the world is different now with the advent of T20 cricket, for example, for granted. So to make test cricket more attractive, some kind of restrictions and clause should be added with the test cricket format. And I believe this would be a good format to add, that at least per 80 overs, there should be a target set of 250 runs. If not, then there should be a penalty of one automatic wicket per 40 run deficit. And that certainly will make test cricket more interesting. I hope you will like and you support this idea and objective to make test cricket more popular. In case you have any questions how this format should work, I'd be glad to share my view, and then probably we combinedly can suggest something to ICC so that they can consider this kind of options to make test cricket more interesting. Thank you. If you like this video, please share. Please